wanted to take a look in situation with Mr. Let's turn this mic off. Take a look into the situation with Mr. Adam John GRANDMAISON. If you know what a Grand Mason is, this is just getting wilder by the second. What? Apparently his father was involved in something. Do with that town out there, huh? They said his father was a politician. He was involved with the Clintons or something like that, right? Yeah, 95. Deprive citizens of their right to honest service of the public their public officials. Grand Mason now appeals the 18th month sentence imprisonment. Team members, 6 of whom were elected at large, and 9 of whom are elected from the Nashua 9 electoral wards. Seeking construction of $6.3 million project. A 60-year-old junior high school, Federal Road, and school construction. What was he doing? Swindling money and denying people the right to talk about it? Oh, he lobbied colleagues to get down with the program, huh? 3 of them. See, the whole thing I was trying to bring up, his dad's a politician. A Grand Mason is in the is in the Masonic Lodge. It's also a Grand Master. Another name for it, right? Grand Master Mason. But his name's Grand Mason. What are the odds of that? It's spelled a little different, but come on, man. The whole point we here today because this man, Adam 22, right? I was watching this video. I started the video, right?
So just because it's on camera and
shout out to Point and Shoot. I was watching
because I'm a podcaster, it's not cool. No, I'm not saying that. It's just that
women, you actually got to consent to want to have sex with you.
And they said some craziness, bro. And I had to research afterwards, right?
If you're giving them money, that just feels kind of...
I mean, so you're going to essentially have a full-blown porn company.
DJ Vlad. Just as bad as Adam.
Yeah.
It's basically this bacterial infection. The STD test that...
And that was 2 porn stars. 2 of the sloppiest kind.
Yeah.
It's basically this bacterial infection. The STD test that they give you, don't test for it.
Fake looking aggression? That's where I paused it at, bro. I was like, what the hell is he talking about? Bacterial infection. So I came to look, I type in Adam 22 bacterial infection. This is the reason I started this shit. Adam 22 protein vector, Adam 22 gene. They literally have a gene cell that they created and a protein Adam 22 that they named this well before him. That's all about bacterial infections, fam. It's all about being a cell that is a host, literally a host, the same fucking thing he is. A host for bacterial infections. And what does he do on his show? Host bacterial information segments. You just can't make this shit up, man. Like it was given to him. Decreased human papillomavirus. The one I was looking at was talking about E. coli, Esherichia coli, and how it's used to host these cells inside of it, right? Inflammation is a protective mechanism that is active in response to injurious stimuli and promotes the healthy process. Inflammation protects the body from various stimuli, including irritants, pathogens, damaged cells, blah, 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 right? This ain't even the site I was looking at. But it's just talking about all these different types of things. Tumor necrosis, which is dead cells. Why is this all being mentioned with Adam 22, right? Protein 22, a disintegrin metalloproteinase domain containing protein 22, Adam 22. Peripheral myelin protein 22. Growth arrest specific protein 3 called peripheral myelin 22 is a protein in humans is encoded by the PMP22 gene. PMP22 is a 22 kDa transmembrane glucoprotein. Contains up to 160 amino acids. Schwann cells, peripheral nerve system. So here it is talking about another host cell, right? Only for your peripheral visions this time. Whey proteins, workout proteins, right? Let's go back to the site I was at, bro. Mammalian and bacterial system. LPS membrane contains a gram-negative bacteria that acts as endotoxins, including strong inflammatory and immune responses. And that's what LGI3 is. And it's secreted and binds to Adam 22. So it binds to this Adam 22, and when the Adam 22 does whatever it does to break down, it releases this in an even more rogue version, bro. Like, the fuck is going on, man? That's why I clicked on this site, to see this part. Adam plays a role in cell matrix and cell interface related processes, including modulation of the neurogenic function, muscle fusion, fertilization, and secretion of tumor necrosis factor. Adam 22 belongs to the subfamily of Adam proteins that includes Adam 11 and Adam 23, which are expressed at high levels in the brain. He didn't even name himself after one of the two that are actually good. He named himself after the one that does the harmful shit. I'm sure it does something good along the way in there, but the other two does not do what this one does, bro. You won't even, this rogue thing will not even bind to the Adam 22 that expresses neurons. I mean, that is a neuron, an expressing neuron. Man. So I had originally clicked on this first, bro. I want to read that part. Where'd it go? Blank control protein. That's blank control protein vectors related to this, right? That's essentially what they call this shit. It's a blank protein vector, essentially. Just waiting to inhabit some bullshit most of the time. They're lucky I can't find the part I was reading earlier where it said that it breaks down and leaves behind just nastiness. And then look, why when I type this in, it brings up stuff like this? What infection triggers autoimmune encephalopathy? In most cases, the autoimmune encephalitis is unknown. That's the same type of shit he was just talking about in that video. STD type shit is unknown. It's not traceable and all this other bullshit. It's not registered as a STD. Exposure to such bacteria and viruses includes staphylococcus, which is, oh my God, a terrible thing. People die from that. County building, people is dying from that. And herpes simplex infection. Sexually transmitted disease, bro. A type of tumor called teratoma, generally in the ovaries, cause the immune system to produce specific antibodies. Why would you name yourself with something that's even closely related to this type of shit? You had to know what Adam 22 was before you named yourself too, bro. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, they put bacterial infections, but Adam 22 is listed under the genotoxic effects of salmonella, whatever, peripheral, blah, blah, blah. And here it is again. Uterine infusion of bacteria alters the transcriptome, be my best pronunciation. Why is this name always involved with infections is what I want to know, bro. Let's just to give this man the benefit of the doubt, let's look up the definition, bro. Look it. Diseases associated with Adam in 22 include developmental and epileptic encephalopathy, hell of a mouthful, 61, and limbic encephalitis. Nervous system, peripheral, sexually transmitted diseases. And then he's related to it. Disintegrin and metalloproteinase domain containing protein 22, also known as Adam 22, is an enzyme that in humans is encoded by the Adam 22 gene. What the fuck is the Adam 22 gene then? What? A protein coding gene. Diseases are always associated with it. So it's the center of this chemical DNA compound here. Natal human brain tissue. So not only is he a Pokemon pedo, hey, yo, the man names himself after a protein that is associated with prenatal brain tissue. He's already targeting children, and then he names himself after something that's significant in children's brain and development. You shitting me? But when it's the gene, it's this. But when it's the protein, it's always associated with cancer. Even this is associated with cancer. Mediates growth, inhibition using a integrin mediates growth using an integrin dependent pathway. Can I read? A brain specific cell surface protein. So he names himself after a brain protein that's specific to prenatal brain tissue, but necessity to all brains, but it's always related. The gene of the atoms, all the atoms, that is always related to cancer and causing destruction. And that's exactly what he does. It is expressed in normal brain, but not in high-grade gliomas. Isn't glioma cancer? Protein that interacts with LGI1, they already said that, and forms a complex. Well, LGI1 doesn't even have to be bad. It just goes bad, I see. Forms a complex on the neuronal surface, a legion of the integrin in the brain, non-catalytic, or doesn't start anything, not the moving force, the negative force. Man, it's associated with biological entities spanning 8 categories: molecular profile, organism, chemical function term. Right, this man was definitely, he's like into some shit nobody is thinking of or knows about. A lot of people do not know about. Atom 23, this name is getting out of control. The LGI1 is transmitting back and forth. That's how it goes rogue. So atom 22 goes into atom 21. Glutamate is a energy source. Glucose, sugar. Presynaptic terminal. That's synapses in the brain or in the tissue. Transmit electricity, right? Little zaps. Give the nerves their alerts, right? So let's see what this means. I knew it. Tumor. That's what that girl had in that movie. Her mother had glioma cancer in that movie. The TV show where they were like stuck in those. They were going into the future in those games, and the people was coming from the past, from the future into the past, trying to solve a problem in the future. Glial cells surround, protect, and help in the function of neurons. Cells that help send messages from your brain to the rest of your body. That's why she went fine. Stop sending cells to the eye or signals to the eye. So these cells are actually good until they go bad. So it's a cell that's meant for good and does good function in your body until it contains rogue cells, and then it literally inhabits and protects and uplifts cancerous cells and then releases everything in it into the environment. The same way he did AD and everybody else, right? With all of his poisonous cancerous shit that he did to Lush and everybody else. This is wild, bro. I just wanted to bring this out here to the public. This man, 22. And did this name only after 21 Savage. It's wild to me. I'm out of here, man. Y'all know what to do. Y'all know what it is. Click some shit, like some shit, subscribe.